happened on the play where you had to come out, and did the officials just tell you had to go to the sideline, and would you get checked for it?
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, the play tried to put like a little, trick pass on it. They did a good job of covering it, so didn't want to, make a bad play worse by, forcing the ball. So just try to get back to the line of scrimmage. I'm not really sure what the reason was I had to come out of the game. It was just it was weird. I don't understand it.
Some of the other times you've come out, Jaxson, they've been off of hits that were noteworthy. Like you got popped pretty good, and you come off the sideline, and you come back in. Was this the first one that even you were kind of surprised they were asking you to come out?
This definitely wasn't the first time that I've been surprised that I've had to come out, but I was definitely surprised. Just didn't feel like it was that big of a hit at all. Obviously, just like the situation that we were in too. First and goal on the 2. That's a big thing that happens in a game. So I was definitely surprised.
On the interception, was the route to stay to the outside? Because your ball went inside, the receiver got cut off out there. Can you just walk us through what you saw in that play there?
Yeah, me and Jalen just weren't on the same page. So, we got to get that corrected by reps, and, we will.
When you're taken out of the game, sometimes does it feel like they're almost watching you extra close for whatever reason?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't just see people getting taken out of the game like that. So I definitely feel like there's a sensitivity for some reason.
You think it might be related to the fact that they let you go back in Chicago and they're overcorrecting?
I'm not sure, for the reason. I think that'll just be something that hopefully can get communicated. I'm not really sure, to be honest, why that happened.
Why do you think you
What do you do about that? What can you do about that? Is there anything?
I mean, I don't know.
Steps you could do to change that narrative or change that perception? Or?
Maybe just run the other way. I have no idea. I'm not sure.
Could you talk about the last possession where you could have tied the game?
Yeah, I take accountability for this one. I didn't play well enough today for this team to win, so I got to be better, especially in that situation. And I didn't play good enough for our team today.
On that pass to Slayton, was it intended for you to loft it, or when you think about it in hindsight, should you have thrown the ball a little differently on that route?
Yeah, definitely just didn't put a good enough throw on it. That wasn't like the play that was designed. It was a communication that me and him had in the huddle just to route off, an adjustment that we ran a few times during the game. So, that's definitely one you want back.
Jaxson, it seems like the empty possessions, when they start mounting, it looks like it creates a little bit more frustration, more pressure for you guys to actually get things done. Do you feel that when you guys go as a unit to the sideline? Are you trying to work through that, or is it a clean slate every time you get out there on the field?
Well, I think you're definitely frustrated, when you come up empty-handed, especially, how we started off the game. You can't play like that as an offense. So, there's definitely, guys were trying to be positive, but there's also frustration too. And I felt like we played better in the second half, but, for us to be the team that we want to, we can't play like that, in the first half.
What do you think changed in the second half? Because obviously that first half just ended as almost as bad as it could have gone. But what changed, you think, starting the second half the way you guys did?
I felt like there were just, some weird things that happened in the first half where it could have gone a completely different way on some of the conversions and whatnot. But, that's just football, so you kind of have to battle through those things. Just felt like we executed, better in the second half, played faster. But it was just a little bit more decisive on decisions. And, I feel like that was kind of the reason for why we played better in the second half.
Jaxson, on the play on the goal line, was you running an option on the play, or that you did that yourself because the design play didn't work?
Yeah, like I said, we had a play that has been working all week, and They did a good job of defending it, and I'm not gonna, like I said earlier, make a bad play worse. I'm just gonna try to get back to the line of scrimmage or make something happen, and put ourselves in a good situation for second down. So that was kind of my mentality.
Jaxson, it's been 2 months since you guys have last won. At this point, how difficult is it for you guys to kind of just, every loss is its own game, but how tough is it for you guys to just see these keep adding up and try to just not let it sink on you a little bit?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I'm not gonna talk around it. It's definitely tough, but the only thing that we can do is come back into the facility for the next week and prepare even harder, and just continue to try to learn. I know that this isn't going to be the case for the future, and things are going to eventually turn around. So I definitely have that in my mind, but obviously as a team we want to get that switched immediately.
When you scored that touchdown, Jaxson, against the Broncos and gave you guys the lead,
yeah.
I imagine that you didn't think that everything that has followed since then has been what's followed since then. How do you keep your head above water? Like, how do you keep the positivity flowing when this thing is just spiraling?
You just have frustrations that mound up, and for me, I just I try to work harder every day. I try to turn those feelings and these results into motivation. I love this game. I love coming to work every day. I love my teammates. So I'm never going to be somebody that's just discouraged completely and have it have anything to do with my daily habits. So I'm just trying to continue to work harder.
Take a few more.
Are there things that you've learned throughout your career to prevent you from getting as discouraged as maybe from the outside and seem to be? What do you work on now? You go home, then tomorrow. How do you make sure that you're not as discouraged as maybe people expect you to be?
I think I'm still learning that. I haven't gone this long without a win in my career, so you definitely try to obviously learn from the things that you didn't play well enough from, and I'm trying to just live week to week, and trying to get a little bit of motivation, be a little bit of a spark. So just trying to communicate as positively as I can. These hurt, so you gotta try to take it for what it is. And you just try to rally the troops to get better for the next week.
Aside from family and teammates, are there others that you try to reach out to get their perspective, particularly coming off of the bye week, just to help you frame some of what you're experiencing right now?
There wasn't really anybody that I reached out to. I think that our losses have been pretty simple for the most part, of just us not being a team that finishes consistently in the fourth quarter, and I think that's just the reason. That's what we have to fix. So I think that when you watch back the tape, you understand why we're not winning games, and it's little plays that you have to make, and the other team is making, and we're not making enough of those. So we have to correct that.
You've run the ball, at least on design runs, less since you came back from the concussion. What's your input on that, and what's your thoughts on that in general?
Yeah, I'm a competitor. I want the ball in my hand. So I definitely feel comfortable and confident running the ball. But at the same time, there's a lot of other really good guys on the team who, we got mouths to feed. So you just try to do your best of doing the right thing for each and every play, trying to just stay disciplined, execute what's called, and I have confidence in all the guys around me.